This could be called mistakes not to make part 2, except, honestly, I have no regrets. None. You may have noticed by now, but I don't play 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross the way other YouTubers play it. I just want to have fun. I had put Girls Just Want to Have Fun on in here, but, I don't want to get a copyright strike. So, you get the idea. In any case, ultimately, when I pull on a banner, it's not always chasing the meta. That said, when I do these, my general rule of thumb is always make sure you have leftover gems on hand so you can at least pity the next festival banner. I also go in knowing that I may have to go to the pity on the banner to get said unit. But I love grade cross units, and I love how unique they are. Sometimes it's an interesting passive that pulls me in. A lot of the time, it's hilarious costumes that grab my attention. So, let's talk about these mistakes that I swear aren't mistakes in no particular order. Number 5, Summer Freya. Well, this dates this video. I was going to skip her. I really was. The next festival is around the corner, and as of writing this script and recording it, I have no idea who it is. I mean, I'm recording it when we're about a week out from learning what it's going to be on JPKR, and, I was like, I'll hold out, I'll wait, I'll skip this summer banner because it doesn't matter. And then I saw them give the damn cat floaties. Well, that aside, PvP-only passives have become way more useful with the rise of Hero Arena. I used to shrug at them because I don't really care about PvP at the end of the day. I'm just here to have fun. But Hero Arena is, honestly, a great addition because it lets you have fun with PvP without worrying about what's meta or is my Escanor strong enough to beat up their Escanor. So suddenly, characters like Ragnarok Diane become relevant. Suddenly, a character like Summer Freya looks genuinely interesting. She's still pretty new, so I'm not entirely sure of the uses for her. But she rips in Hero Arena, and her cosmetics rule. For me, that's 600 gems well spent. Now I can attack Nidhogg with Floaty Kitty. Number 4, Tristan. I'm on the record as saying I would wail for Tristan when he released. When I said that though, I meant 4 Nights Tristan, not the 10-year-old gremlin from the end of the series. And admittedly, I was a little, butthurt when his release was first announced, because he got classified as an unknown unit, and he's not. Not exactly. As Meliodas and Elizabeth's son, he's part demon, part goddess, and part human. And look, yes, unknown does make sense. But also, I wish they'd done a thing like Sigurd's passive that allowed him to pass for both. And at the same time, him having some human in him is actually really plot relevant in 4 Nights. So I need to shut the hell up and accept that unknown is the most fitting race for him. Whew. Anyway, look, he's really cute. He is an actual child, and that's hilarious. That's why I pulled. I thought he was cute and thought it would be funny. And it turns out that he's a great goddess backline. I built him up and threw him on my free-to-play account where I have a pretty stacked goddess team, and he made them nearly unkillable. It's kind of nutty. His passive boosts their defense to absurd degrees. And now that his cosmetics are out, his CC isn't suffering either. I'm pretty happy with this little rugrat. Oh, and speaking of cosmetics, his were worth the wait. Look at them! Gosh. Number 3, the Musho 10 banner. On the one hand, collaborations are limited, so it's always good to pull on them because you never know when they'll come around again. On the other hand, these units were never really relevant. At least with Shield Hero, Naofumi had his purpose, But the 4 Musho 10 units never really became meta, and the collab was forgettable as a whole. But I pulled on them anyway, because they did some unique stuff. I think that Rudius's passive is pretty interesting, and there's a lot of neat PvE stuff that you can do with them. I used the Rudius Eris combo with other characters to rip through some PvE bosses easily. Gidane is like the proto-summer Freya, and I just think Roxy's neat. Do I like Musho 10? Oh god, no. Sorry, Vader. I had to be saved by Safe Search when doing the patch notes for that collaboration. Remember that? If I Google her, am I gonna have to... Let's see if I have to censor.
Oh boy.
This
is a dangerous game you're playing.
Let's see. What are we gonna get? Okay, that's safe.
Well, I mean, one of them's censored for you.
Oh, hey, thanks, Google. I appreciate that. We're just gonna close out of that now. But the units that Netmarble released were very interesting, and that's ultimately why I ended up going for them, throwing caution to the wind. And hey, I got lucky. I got all 4 and 600 gems. I'll count that as a win. Number 2, Halloween Easton. I think this story about me pretty much encapsulates who I am as a person. While everyone else was pulling on Festival Merlin, who, by all rights, was a very good festival unit, I loaded up my gems into my clown car and raced off to Halloween Easton's banner. Keep in mind, she wasn't relevant then. We didn't have the one ultimate, and humans had fallen out of the PvP meta, so her passive just didn't really help with that, or anything. She was useless. But I love Easton, so I had to pull, especially since her Halloween costume was sick. I knew it was dumb, and I didn't give a damn. Which was a great call, because a year later, and she's a genuinely viable backline unit now. She's like Athena, but with actual CC. I mostly use her in Brawl to block the blue Fraudrin teams, and that Brawl team wins every single time. My others may fail me, but I can always count on old one ultimate reliable to murder someone, and for Easton to then yawn and drain their ult gauge. I've done multiple videos on her. There's not really much more to say here. I was right, my clown car is the best car. Thank you, and good night. Number 1, Blue Liz. I know I said no particular order, but this is definitely my number 1 in terms of technically dumb pulls. This could have been really dumb. This banner came around the holidays, so towards the end of the One Ultimates banner, but right before the New Year banner that we all knew was coming, as well as the annual cosmetics sale. Theoretically, I should have been scrimping and saving every last gem so I could get the most bang for my buck. But, well, Blue Liz. So she had a step-up banner. And this time around, as a seasonal unit, she had extra cosmetics. Cosmetics that would work for Green Liz. And I was in the process of farming Belmoth Hell for that stupid card. So I thought, hey, I get Blue Liz. Surely Green Liz slaps harder. Oh, she does. She does. And frankly, I like the design. And as a step-up banner, it really only would have been an investment of 242 gems if I had to go to the pity. In the end, I only had to go halfway through it, which was great. I haven't really used Blue Liz herself, but her cosmetics have paid off in spades for Green Liz. Knowing this game, something's going to come out in a few months where it's like, wow, you know who the perfect unit for that would be? Blue Liz. And then I'm gonna feel pretty smug. As for honorable mentions, guys, I don't have an honorable mention from the last year, but I did go 2 rotations on the Awakened Roxy banner and got her 5-6. Still didn't get Blue Awakened Mono though, but yeah, that's the thing that happened, and I don't really regret it. It's pretty funny. Maybe I'll get to test her with the new LR Escanor if I ever decide to actually get him. Who knows? This is all to say, look, when it comes to pulling, as long as you go in knowing that you may have to go to the pity to get the character you want and you're okay with that, there are no mistakes. Sure, some characters will make the content easier. It's a fact that you really should be using certain units to beat the demonic beasts, for example. But if you chase the game's meta, you're going to drive yourself insane. Have fun and go after units that you enjoy, even if it's the hot lady who puts her cat in little floaters. Especially if it's the hot lady who puts her cat in little floaters. Hell yeah.